Trance and Prosper. Hi, I'm Professor Brian David Phillips, and I'd like to welcome you to my den. And today we're going to have a short little talk. I don't know how short, but hey, let's go for it. On TranceWands, on the parts of a TranceWand. As many of you watching know, I'm a hypnotist. I'm not just any old hypnotist, I'm me. And as me, I just got to do something weird. W-Y-R-D, weird. I enjoy esoteric trance work in addition to the more standard things. I also do some other stuff, as you probably surmise from the videos I've got running in the background as I talk to you. So, today we're going to be talking about the parts of a trance wand. Or if you prefer, the parts of a wand, or the parts of a magic wand. I have power, and I will use... No, stop it. Dad, Brian. Now, this is a very beginner's wand. All right, I have many others, but this one is designed in a way that it shows the parts beautifully. And so a trance wand, or a magic wand, if you will, has a number of parts. There are 4 basic parts, and then there are additional parts that may or may not be present in any one wand. In Harry Potter, he mentioned Harry Potter. Harry Potter, the wands have different styles and different designs. And if you have something like Dumbledore's wand, you can see the parts are very obvious in the design. But something like Sirius Black's wand, you don't notice the parts as easily unless you look very carefully. Sirius's wand. I see what you did there. Sirius Black's wand just looks like a giant chopstick, but it's got such a good heft to it. Oh, I have mine. I have one. When my daughter went to Harry Potter Land in Japan with her friend, she brought me back a few wands. And the Sirius Black has a really good heft. It's my favorite, and actually I use it sometimes. But this is the one that a lot of folks start off with. It's from a wanding kit. Now, what are the parts of a wand, and how do you use that in trance work? Isn't that just a stick you're waving around? Because everyone knows Wingardium Leviosa doesn't work the way you see it in the movies. Wanding, like magic in general, doesn't work the way it works in the movies. Magic is trance. Magic is real. M-A-G-I-C-K. Magic is real, but it's really cool in terms that it's essentially trance work embodied. So if you're doing transformational magic, for instance, where you change yourself into, I am a werewolf now. I'm a werewolf all the time. But physical transformations, for instance, they're usually not genuinely physical. There are folks who claim that their shamanistic practices allow them to do that sort of thing. Salt, grain, I'll take that with this. But that doesn't mean you don't experience it. And there are things like positive affirmation work we use in trance work. It is accelerated in wanding or other forms of esoteric practices. Plus, it's fun. A wand is essentially a focus. Okay? And if you like J.K. Rowling or not, and a lot of folks have issues with her right now, and I know I do, but I love her world. And whether you appreciate her views in the real world, her fantasy world had some interesting things. For instance, the Harry Potter wizards all use wands. But in the world of Potterverse, we learn eventually that some very advanced wizards don't need a wand. They can just intention, will, magic. And we also learn that when the European wizards went to North America and they interacted with the indigenous peoples there, they discovered that the indigenous folks didn't use wands, that they all learned from the get-go. Think of this as training wheels, but they're fun. And essentially, by having a device like this, a stick, or if you prefer, you can use, ooh, that's a special wand. It's called a pen. Ooh. But anything could work as a wand, a wanding device or focus. You could use a pen like this one, or any other pen as you wish. You could use, I have special wands here. I have my drumsticks, okay? Oh, wand, oh neat. These definitely work as wands, okay? I like to think Harry Dresden's right. If you know the Dresden Chronicles, you know that that wizard, he doesn't want to walk around with a magic staff, so he carries a hockey stick. Personally, I think drumsticks will work better for that. But anything can serve as that focus point. That as you focus into your wand, doing your trance magic, there are basic parts to the wand. Let's go over the parts. Here we have what's known as the kell. The kell is that knobby guy at the end, okay? Some folks have a nice gem or something like that affixed at the end of their wand so that they can empower it with amulet powers or gemstone powers. The kell, the handle is, so the knob is the kell, and then you have what's called the fondel or fondle. Ooh, fondle. I have a fondle. Ooh, I must fondle my fondle. Try not to be creepy with your wand. But the handle bit is essentially the fondle or fondel. And then we have the steck. The steck is essentially the stick part, the long part, the shaft, if you prefer. That's the steck of the wand, is the shaft. And then here, this point here, which sometimes has a gemstone attached, is the lance. And that is the, so we hold it and we start our energetic focus, begins at the kell and the fondel and moves through the stack into the lance. That's your, essentially how you aim. You focus and aim, okay? And how you hold your wand is up to you. I wouldn't hold it like this. Ah! It's not a weapon. But however you hold yours, it needs to be secure so you don't accidentally drop it. Some wands are quite expensive. This one obviously is not. It's a training wand, and there are folks who sell these. But you could also get a wand by going into your backyard and picking up a stick. A stick? Make it a special one. I have one that I'm so delighted in that it comes from the branch of a tree that was knocked down by lightning. Yay! But those are the essential parts. Kell, fondel, steck, lance. Now, in Harry Potter, and actually in many fantasy novels and fantasy worlds, there's often a core. The core is usually, it's a hollowed out section in the stick that goes into the fondel, and you, when you're creating it, you might have, this part might have been hollowed, and you put a feather from a phoenix tail feather, or a unicorn's hair from the unicorn's mane. You put it in the core and then seal it up. Or you could put something special in there, the ashes of your loved one. Don't do that, that's creepy. The ashes of your enemy. That'll do it, that'll do it. Or whatever. Or it's just a hollow core, or there's no core at all. That is optional in wanding. What we're essentially doing is we're looking for a way to focus our energies. That's the same way that magical amulets work. Okay, so if you're wearing a saint's medallion, yep, that is a focus. All right, so when I meditate, I might hold this particular medallion, and I put my thumb on the wings. Yes, there are wings in the back. This is, of course, everyone's favorite goddess, Inanna. And I'll put my thumb between the wings, and as I meditate, I might give it a little press. She's very worn through here. And that's what people who use prayer beads, they do a similar thing. Buddhists have Buddhist meditation beads. Catholics have prayer beads, and lots of folks use beads or objects of power. And a wand is a training wheels for practicing trance magic. But you can focus through. Now, here's the thing about wands or medallions and amulets, tokens in shamanic practice. The fetish is that you focus your will or imaginative power into the object, and it amplifies it. Okay, it's like a little amplifier that allows you to focus through and generates your will or imaginative power. Now, you may or may not experience that as a physical force. Some folks do, and it really does feel awesome. Okay? You don't need this to practice. You can just use this, the mind. But it's a nice way to amplify will. And if you tell yourself that's what's happening, that's what's happening. Yay, you. Now, the 4 major parts of the TranceWand also apply for other forms of stick-based magic or trance work. For instance, I do a lot of Seiðr. And if you look at the spelling, you say, oh, you mean cedar. No, it's not cedar, and it's not cider. I call it Seiðr. You may mispronounce it another way, or seething. But it is an older practice, and when I practice that, I tend to use this. Now, I have a kell. I have the fondel. This part here detaches. If I wanted to, I can put something here. I have the steck, and of course down here I have the lance. There, you can see that very clearly. Kell, fondel, steck, lance. I like this one. Some of you recognize it. I've shown it to folks before. I got this in India, and where I got it, it was not intended for trance work. but that's what I use it for. It's actually a really nice cudgel. It really is heavy, and that you could do damage to someone. I have never, as far as you know, harmed another person with my seiðing rod. Now, the same parts apply to staving. There are some wonderful courses on Völva staving out there. Carrie Turing has some really nice work in that reference. You can have a full staff for staving. I don't use a full staff. If I want to practice staving, I will use this staff. Kel, Fondel, you can see it twists off right here. Fondel, Steck, and Lance. So all the parts. Really nice, carved beautifully. This obviously is a walking stick. It's a terrible, terrible walking stick. It really is. I use a cane. I would never use this as my cane or as my walking stick, simply because, well, the lance would cause, doesn't have much traction. You would trip, and if you need a cane, that's one of the things you're trying to avoid. But it is a nice one, a nice elephant again. It's a beautiful piece. It's a lot of fun. And so for staving, I might use this. Or if you want to pretend you're Harry Dresden, go use a hockey stick. Or a big stick from your yard. And so those are the parts of the TranceWand. Perhaps in another video, I will go into detail on some things you can do, some trance exercises. It does cross over into hypnosis and other forms of trance work. It really does. I like to experiment with many different types of esoteric trance work. And so I play with my wand. I play with my stick. I do practice wanding to a degree, mostly not with this. This is from when I was beginning with wanding, and my drumsticks I tend to use to drum with. But, I do like this rod. This is a really nice one. I enjoy it. But that is an introduction to wanding. Of course, why am I talking about it today? Well, because it's the International Week of the Weirding Witch. And so I wanted to do something for that. A nice little fun thing for Esoteric Trance Work Week. And so there's that. Of course, you could check out my website, www.briandavidphillips.net, and check out some of the esoteric trance work that I've done in terms of, I have Psymagic, psychic hypnosis, magic hypnosis. There's a lot of free material on my website, but you can also, if you want to, check out my commercial products. I do have a huge package with all my Psymagic work packaged together, and I actually have an absolutely hugely humongous package where all my packages are packaged together. So the erotic work, as well as the esoteric work, the magic, the psi, all that packaged together. And at the time I'm making this video, that stuff is all on sale. I have a sale once a year. I don't do Black Fridays. I no longer do Independence Days. I have one sale once a year. That's it. But it's a long sale. It goes from Chinese New Year through Valentine's, and we have and other holidays are celebrated in that time. Right now that's up on my website, www.briandavidphillips.net, and you can check out what's available at a massive discount. The product, if you're watching this video and you've missed the sale, that's okay. The products are well worth their price. They're very reasonable. If you get them in packages, they come out at a very, very reasonable and affordable price. But during the sale, they're massively discounted, and some people say, why would you do that? You foolish man. You could make more money if you doubled the price. It's just a holiday. Yay, holidays. Celebrate the Weirding Witch Week. And of course, Valentine's is coming up. If you're interested in the erotic hypnosis, Valentine's is a great theme for that. But also just, check out all the free stuff. There's a lot of free material on my website. If you're not already a member, join. No obligation to buy. And there isn't. I've given a lot of free material out there, so knock yourself out. For now, though, I wish you well, and go find yourself a nice wand with your Kel, Fondell, Steck, and Lance, and play with them. Seriously, play. Have some fun. That's the whole point of life. Have some fun. For now, this is Professor Brian David Phillips wishing you a happy Chinese New Year. Yay! Wonderful week of the Weirding Witch, and sensual Valentine's Day. Live, trance, and prosper. Bye-bye.